Hello everyone, I'm Tim.
I'm Emily.
And I'm Destiny.
And we're free to roam. Today we find ourselves in beautiful Williamsburg, feeling free to roam around in the rain.
Yeah, it is definitely a rainy one.
Yep. We're here for the Brews and Coasters Festival here at Busch Gardens, and honestly we're just happy to be back in the park again. So we're all doing our best to stay social distant, keep the masks on. They got hand sanitizers everywhere. So feel free to come along with us as we roam around Busch Gardens for the day.
Yeah, let's see what they've got to offer for today.
We're going to do our best to try to stay dry. Dry and healthy, right? That's the thing today. So stick around.
Bye.
So it is a very rainy day out here in Williamsburg. We're going to try our best to stay dry. Go through the checkpoints and do all that good stuff. Not sure how all this is going to work. All sanitized up. Gonna do the temperature scans and all that good stuff. So you come on through, sanitize your hands, follow the cue. It's actually quite a nice temperature out here today. It's very rainy, but nice temperature. And we're going to go through and we get our temperature scan next.
We encourage you to frequently wash your hands and use hand sanitizer throughout your visit. Thank you.
So as long as you're below 100.4, you get in. Now we got to go through security. Okay, so just finished up with security, temperature screening, hand sanitizing. It looks like they have little notifications here letting you stay right. I guess outgoing traffic, keep left. Pretty simple. Now, as you can probably see, it's quite rainy here today, so I don't expect it to be very crowded, but we'll see. I'm gonna try to get some good food, maybe have a couple of beers. We'll see what happens. Very wet, but at least it's not hot. We just got in. Make sure you have your reservations ready and waiting because they scanned your pass and your reservations real quick like. And we checked with guest services. It seems like a lot of the membership rewards are not active yet since they technically are not open. So it seems kind of like openings for special events only. Only running a few rides. They might not even be running them because it's raining. Hey, it just feels good to be back in the park again. And it is very empty, as you can see. Not much of anybody here. It's very, kind of almost eerie, really. I'm going to be honest about that. I don't think I've ever seen the park this empty, except for at like the end of the night, you know, like the very end of the night when everybody's walking out. So this is 12:06 on a Saturday afternoon here. And this is actually seriously a little bit creepy. This is definitely a very interesting visit here. And I think we are going to go try to see if we can get some snacks at Grogans Pub. That's one of the few locations that's open. Wow. So this is basically what you get while you're here right now. You get Loch Ness Monster, this area down here, and up through here in Ireland, then over into France, up to Invader, and that's about it. It's like the park almost half doesn't exist. During these very odd COVID-19 times we're living in, where this is seemingly the new norm, we do have to wear masks at all times. Well, looks like they're going to run Finnegan's Flyer, so that's cool. Alright, so Finnegan's Flyer, we're going to go around. And we're going to go see if we can get some snacks and stuff at Grogans. There are very few places to eat here today. But we're going to do the best we can, right? That's what we do here. So when you come on through, right next to the Battle of the Ire, it's a little slick out here. Try not to trip and fall, you know? Wouldn't want that. We're gonna go into Grogans. Alright, so stick around. We decided to get ourselves some giant pretzels.
They look so good.
They look really good. And I got a Billsburg cream ale. And Emily got, what did you get?
A cherry tart cider?
Cherry tart cider. It looks pretty good.
Oh, that's really good. A little bit tart, but good aftertaste.
Alright, I'm gonna try this here thing. A cream ale. Wow.
How's yours?
That's pretty good. It's, can't put my finger on it, but I'm not very much of a connoisseur, but it is very good. So we're gonna sit down, we're gonna eat some food. So one of the things I'd like to note here is we just got done at Grogans. And the website will tell you that you can get nachos or a sandwich or many other things on that menu. Well, not too many, but a couple of bar type items, you know, sandwiches, and of course the famous pretzels that we have already devoured. Right next door you got this little place here, Brady's Drinks. And if you look closer, it looks like you can see you can get some kettle corn and turkey legs and stuff of that nature. The only thing you seem to be able to get at Grogans is the pretzels.
No cheese either.
No cheese.
But mustard.
You get mustard.
Yep.
So if you really want a full service restaurant, you got to go down to the Trapper's Smokehouse.
But I would recommend the cider. Very good.
And they do have a very good selection of drinks.
Yeah.
We might try a couple more as the night wears on. We'll have to see what our constitution will allow us. And like I was saying earlier, we could stop in and grab some pretzels and turkey legs. Looks delicious. And some popcorn and churros. How about that? Right next to Castle O'Sullivan. And I will say, as I've said before, the crowd levels are very slim. So if you're looking to get a couple of rides in on Griffin or Invader or Loch Ness Monster, now would definitely be the time to do it. Because there is basically no crowd. Well, we got plenty of signs up letting you know. And then like it seems like every 10 or 15 minutes they put a little something, you know, over the loudspeakers reminding you to go ahead and social distance, wash your hands. Take a minute to stop and check out the eagles, of course. And they are majestic, aren't they? Wilderness in all its glory. And if you follow it on down, you got some fun facts about bald eagles. But it's very nice to see hand sanitizer stations everywhere. Seems like most of the ride so far has been hand sanitizer stations as soon as you get on and as soon as you get off. And of course the rides are observing social distancing. You see these little markings everywhere. So they're trying to do their part to make sure everybody stays nice and safe, because we want to make sure the parks can stay open. It's a rough time in human history, you know, so little things like this are nice. If you can do it safely, go ahead and do it.
As you can plainly see, our wolves are much closer to you than a mile, and they're not turning around and running away. These guys have been socialized to humans. What that means is that they were hand-raised early enough in a very specific way, much more intensive than hand-raising a dog. The outcome is that they understand that humans are not scary. That is not going to turn them into a dog. You cannot raise a wolf and expect it to behave like a dog. They have different hormones, they have different chemicals in their brain, they are still hardwired to be a wild animal. Just like you would not expect to raise a tiger and then be surprised when it grew up to be a tiger. But here at the park, they're used to us, they're not afraid of us. Now we can handle them, but what they will tolerate is very different than what a dog will tolerate. And if you cross that line, they're going to react like a wolf and not like a dog. All that being said, wolves are very cautious animals. They're not these big, people are like, oh, I want one as like a guard dog. You would have an easier time with a miniature poodle. They are huge chickens. So when they haven't seen anybody but their trainers for 8 months, they kind of need to ease back into this. They're not quite ready to be out here on exhibit all the time. You'll notice we've got toys out here. We don't want to just shut them in here and leave them out here if they're not comfortable yet with the crowds being back. So they are going to be heading in just a couple moments because we're doing it in short bits. They come out for little bits a couple times a day. So we do appreciate your understanding with that. We always want to make sure we're doing everything at their comfort level and their pace. We don't ever want to make them feel like they're being stuck out here or anything like that. All the training that we do is through positive reinforcement. We don't correct them, we don't discipline them, we don't tell them no, bad, or wrong. So if they're not active, willing participants, we don't want to do that. So we're definitely taking it slow while we reopen. So we do appreciate you guys for your understanding. What makes them howl? That's a great question. Each wolf is different as far as their propensity for howling. Some are very talkative and it takes nothing to make them howl. The train could make a noise and they would howl. Some of them are a lot more quiet and reserved and don't howl unless the other wolves howl. But in general, wolves will howl as a social bonding. It is kind of like a social glue that bonds them together. It seems to be very enriching. Often when they howl, they kind of gather around each other and they get all excited and they swishy tail and they lick each other's faces and it's like, oh, we love talking together. But what can trigger that is largely based on the situation. So let's say the pack got dispersed during the hunt. When the hunt is complete, they would howl to rally the pack back together like a dinner bell. If something really exciting happens, like puppies are born, it's pretty common for them to kind of like, no, something exciting happened, and they start howling. If a wolf gets separated from their pack or leaves their pack for a short period of time, a pack's territory can be very vast, but they're not going to occupy the whole thing at one time. So it's a very efficient way for them to relocate the pack without wasting energy traipsing all over everywhere. They also will howl as a means for defending their territory. So if another pack is near the territorial boundary, they will howl to say, hey, we're big and bad, there's a lot of us, you should stay on your side of the line. So there are lots of different reasons that might trigger them to howl, but in general, if it's their normal, calm, relaxed howl, that's a sign of social contentment. Now they do have a yip howl. It's not very commonly used. If you guys have heard, "Ow, ow, ow, ow," that is a coyote. I have now ruined every movie for you that ever had a wolf in it. Wolves do not "ow, ow, ow, ow" before they howl. They just go, oh. However, if a threat is in the territory, let's say a bear wanders near the den site where the pups are, they will do more of a yip howl that's much more panicky. It's an alarm howl. It's meant to alert the pack to danger and also try to drive that danger out of the territory. But it's far less common and you can tell the difference. It sounds panicky.
Cupid. Isn't he a cute little bugger? Few people here and there. Not many though. I would have to say, if they had all the rides running, this would be what I would characterize as being a perfect day as far as crowd levels. And we're now entering France, which, like I said, y'all can kind of judge for yourselves. Crowd levels are not bad at all. I think we were about to go see if we can get us a nice weight-free ride on Griffin Face covering relaxation zone right here. So you can come in here, hand sanitize, and then take a seat, take your mask off for a minute, relax. Sometimes you just need time to breathe, you know? moment right here. This hand As you can see, it is still pretty empty around here, which is pretty sweet. Another thing I'd like to note, social distancing is everywhere. So if you notice down here, you got every other table covered off. So that way, and make sure people are keeping their distance. Like I keep on saying, whatever it takes to keep the parks open, because life is pretty boring without it. So one of the other places you can visit while you're here is the Trapper's Smokehouse. I've heard they have great barbecue wares here. And we're gonna head on down and go check out Invader.
So here we are outside of Trapper Dave's General Store, Gem Mining Candle Carver. And it says enter here, so there's only one entrance and the exit's over there. Over here are a whole bunch of snacks that you can take a look at. Oh wow. Yum. Lemon hard candies, that sounds like something Destiny would eat. Let's see, so here's some different offerings that they have. Some Busch Garden t-shirts, that's lovely. Let's see, what's the price on that? And it's $25.99. Oh, look at that. Oh, Zach's little brother would be so happy. So cute. We got lots of little goodies and treats. And this over here, ooh, I like this. This is the Invader shirt. So it tells you all the stats. They got hats and some other fun things for the ride. Awesome. This is a very cute little general store. Oh look, you can get Jacks. You guys remember those? What is this? A throwing top. Oh, that sounds a little dangerous. Oh, and here are the pins that you can get at this location. I love the Clydesdale. Oh, they do have some face masks. I'll show you guys the face masks in a minute, but I'm just going to come over here. Oh, that's cool. So some of these pins actually have directions to the cakes that they can make on them. Oh, that's so cool. Oh, it's called a force cake. Oh, Pantheon. Oh. Whoa. That is so cool. Wow. How much is that one? Can you show me the price? What is that? $21.99. Wow, that is really cool. The coolest pin I think I've ever seen. And you can get mystery collection pins. And they are special releases. Oh, and there's a My First Ride mystery pin collection as well. And because it's really wet out, this is a great idea. Just some extra pairs of shoes for sale. And they are for $48. Very nice. And of course they have the we're all in this together, 6 feet apart. And that one is for $24.99. Lucky Fat, you're welcome back. And Christmas socks. As well as buy 3, get 1 free face masks. And here's just some of the selection that they have here. So you can tell they've got adult as well as youth, but it looks like, oh, so those would be youth, and then adults are over here. I just had to come over here to use the restroom, and it looks like it's actually blocked off for regular parking. So I believe this is where like the regular parking lot is, the regular day guests will come in, but this is actually blocked off, and it looks like, let's take us out here. So they have a place to sanitize stations. There's the entrance, but you actually can't get in over here. So it looks like the only way that you can get in right now is if it'll focus over here from the England section, which is the preferred parking. We did also notice a sign coming in today that parking was $10. So that was nice. It's not as expensive. I believe it's like $15 or $20 on a normal day. So it's a little bit cheaper right now. And that's nice because not only is it cheaper, but then you get to come over here and park in the preferred section, which is awesome.
So we just finished up our day at Coasters and Craft Brews. I will say it was eerily quiet here today. Yeah. Very, very quiet. I mean, to the point where everybody got preferred parking, and the parking lot here it's actually relatively small, and it's not even close to full.
No.
I'd wager to say maybe
300?
Maybe 300 people.
Yeah.
No waits for anything. So they had Griffin, they had Invader Open,
Loch Ness,
and Finnegan's Flyer. Overall, I'd say it was good. The employees were really nice. Everybody was
sweet.
really great.
Yep.
For the most part, I didn't see anybody, breaking the rules. We had everybody wearing their masks, good social distancing,
yep.
Hand sanitizer stations, before and after, every ride pretty much. So making sure everything stays nice and clean, and then, them shutting the rides down to do a sanitizer around every hour or so, maybe. In some of the, previous shots we got, it's very empty. Yeah. Extremely empty. Eerily empty.
But it makes for a good experience.
It's a good experience, but I will say, we got to get out. We got to support our local theme parks, because everybody's hurting right now, especially the theme park industry.
Yeah.
And when they're expecting a crowd of 1,000, 1,500 people to show up and RSVP for these things, and 300 people show up maybe, they're losing money.
Yeah.
Really bad. So with that, we're going to wrap this up, because we're all pretty wet. It's been a really rainy,
but overall a good day.
Very
like,
good
rainy,
day.
But,
rainy,
yeah.
but good day.
Yeah.
So
it was good. So
we had a good time. Dustin, did you have a good time?
I had a good time.
You had a good time?
Excellent.
Emily had a good time?
I did. I had a great time.
Yep. And me, I had a great time.
Yeah.
I always have a good time in the theme parks. So get on out there. Check it out. They're open. They're very safe. I honestly can say I feel safer here than I do in my local, Walmart or Safeways. So check it out. It's a great time. And we'll see you next time on Free to Roam. And I hope until then, you'll feel free to roam too. Please do. And stay safe.